Welcome to Cosmic Faith, where modern science illuminates ancient scripture. Before we dive into today's mind-expanding exploration of Einstein's relativity and Genesis, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly revelations. If you find value in today's journey, please hit that like button. It really helps our community grow. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Has the apparent conflict between Genesis and science ever troubled your faith? Now let's explore how Einstein's revolutionary discoveries might resolve one of the Bible's greatest controversies. Einstein's relativity proves that time flows differently depending on gravity and velocity. This scientific fact resolves the apparent contradiction between Genesis and modern science in a way that will leave both believers and skeptics speechless. For centuries, one of the greatest perceived conflicts between science and scripture has been the time frame of creation. Genesis describes God creating the universe in 6 days, while modern science suggests a process spanning 13.8 billion years. This apparent contradiction has led many to reject either scripture as literal truth or science as reliable knowledge. Some believers insist on a young earth created in 6 24-hour days, while others interpret the Genesis days as metaphorical epochs. But what if both accounts are correct from their respective reference frames? What if the key to resolving this ancient controversy lies in Einstein's revolutionary understanding of time itself? In 1905, Albert Einstein published his special theory of relativity, followed by his general theory of relativity in 1915. These theories revolutionized our understanding of time, revealing that it isn't absolute but relative. It flows at different rates depending on velocity and gravity. This isn't just theoretical. We've confirmed time dilation through precise atomic clocks on airplanes and GPS satellites. Time literally passes more slowly in stronger gravitational fields or at higher velocities. For example, GPS satellites must be programmed to account for the fact that time passes about 38 microseconds faster per day in orbit than on Earth's surface. Without this relativistic correction, GPS navigation would fail completely within minutes. The implications of Einstein's discoveries for understanding Genesis are profound. 2 Peter 3:8 provides a crucial insight. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. This suggests that divine time perception differs fundamentally from human time perception. What Scripture poetically described, Einstein mathematically proved: time is relative to the observer's reference frame. From God's perspective, outside our space-time continuum, the entire 13.8 billion years of cosmic history could appear as 6 distinct creative periods or days. Dr. Gerald Schroeder, a nuclear physicist and Orthodox Jewish scholar, has applied relativistic calculations to the Genesis timeline with fascinating results. Schroeder notes that the Bible specifies its time frame from the perspective of the universe itself, the heavens and the earth, not from a human observer who didn't exist until day 6. Using Einstein's equations and accounting for the universe's expansion, Schroeder demonstrates mathematically that the 13.8 billion years measured by scientists would indeed appear as 6 days from the reference frame of the early universe. The key insight is that time is stretched by the expansion of space. As the universe expanded from the Big Bang, time itself stretched out. The first day of creation, measured from the cosmic perspective of the universe's beginning, would encompass billions of years as measured by today's clocks. Genesis 1:3-5 describes the first day, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and there was evening and there was morning, the first day. From a cosmic perspective, this aligns perfectly with the first epoch of our universe. The Big Bang began with an intense flash of light and energy, the most powerful burst of light in cosmic history. According to modern cosmology, this initial period lasted about 380,000 years, until the universe cooled enough for light to travel freely, what scientists call the recombination era, when the universe became transparent. From the reference frame of the cosmic background radiation, the earliest observable light, this entire epoch would appear as a single day due to relativistic time dilation. Genesis 1:6-8 describes God creating an expanse or firmament to separate waters above from waters below. This aligns with the formation of structure in the early universe, as gravity began to concentrate matter into what would eventually become galaxies while vast regions of space expanded between these concentrations. The Hebrew word for this expanse, rakia, comes from a root meaning to spread out or to stretch, precisely what modern cosmology describes as the expansion of space itself. Genesis 1:9-13 describes the gathering of waters to form seas, allowing dry land to appear, followed by the emergence of vegetation. From Earth's perspective, this corresponds to the formation of our planet's crust and oceans around 4 billion years ago, followed by the first photosynthetic life around 3.5 billion years ago. Due to relativistic effects, this entire multi-billion-year process would appear as a single day from the cosmic reference frame established at creation. Genesis 1:14-19 describes the creation of the sun, moon, and stars on the fourth day, after light already existed and after Earth had formed. This sequence baffled readers for centuries. How could there be light before the sun? How could Earth exist before the stars? Modern science provides the answer. The early Earth's atmosphere was opaque. The sun, moon, and stars would not have been visible from the surface until the atmosphere cleared, even though they already existed. From the perspective of Earth's surface, these celestial bodies would indeed appear after Earth had already formed, exactly as Genesis describes. Genesis 1:20-31 describes the creation of sea creatures, birds, land animals, and finally humans on the fifth and sixth days. This matches the evolutionary record with remarkable accuracy. Marine life appeared before land animals, with humans emerging very recently in Earth's history, just as Genesis places them last in the creation sequence. Due to relativistic time dilation, these final epochs of creation, spanning hundreds of millions of years by our measurement, would appear as distinct days from the cosmic reference frame. Genesis 2:1-3 describes God resting on the seventh day, having completed the work of creation. Interestingly, we now live in what scientists call the Quaternary period, a time of relative geological stability compared to Earth's tumultuous past. The major creative processes that shaped our world are largely complete, with the biosphere now in a period of relative equilibrium, a cosmic rest after the intensive creation periods. This relativistic interpretation of Genesis isn't just theoretical speculation. It's based on well-established physics that we rely on every day. The cosmic microwave background radiation, the afterglow of creation itself, provides a universal reference frame from which we can calculate time dilation effects in the early universe. The expansion of space, confirmed by redshift measurements of distant galaxies, creates precisely the relativistic effects needed to reconcile the biblical and scientific timescales. Even the sequence of creation events in Genesis matches the scientific record with remarkable accuracy when viewed through the lens of relativity. This relativistic understanding of Genesis has profound theological implications. It suggests that the apparent conflict between science and scripture was never a real contradiction but a matter of perspective, of different reference frames measuring the same reality. Genesis wasn't written as a scientific textbook, but it contains scientific truth expressed in terms accessible to ancient readers. The divine author of Scripture knew perfectly well that time is relative. After all, he designed it that way. As Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's perspective transcends our limited human reference frame, From his vantage point outside space-time, the billions of years of cosmic history unfold as 6 distinct creative periods, exactly as Genesis describes. Einstein's theory of relativity doesn't contradict Genesis, it illuminates it. The apparent conflict between the biblical 6 days and the scientific billions of years dissolves when we understand that time itself is relative to the observer's reference frame. This harmony between cutting-edge physics and ancient scripture suggests that the author of Genesis understood the nature of time far better than we've given him credit for. The Bible isn't opposed to science. It anticipated scientific discoveries by thousands of years. If you found this relativistic perspective on Genesis enlightening, please hit that like button, share this video with someone struggling with this apparent contradiction, and subscribe for more revelations, where modern science illuminates ancient wisdom. Until next time, remember that with God, a day is indeed like 1,000 years, or even billions of years, depending on your reference frame.